Greetings, everyone on YouTube, and welcome back to Kingdom Come: Deliverance with me, Kemsit. And of course, we're continuing on where we've left off, and we've discovered quite a lot of disgusting things. And we're gonna try to see what we can find more over here in the monastery. So let's just go, and we can try to go here if we can. See what we can find. Okay. Yeah, no, we can't go there. Rick, come on. Where is this? There it is then. Let's ask him.
If you're going out in public, take a bath first.
Oi. I'll go straight to the baths.
I'm investigating the source of that illness that's been spreading around here. And I could use your learned knowledge.
I'm listening.
I came across the symbol of the Kingdom of Jerusalem during my investigation, and I was wondering if you might have any records or anything that might be connected to it.
If memory serves, something should definitely be here. I even dabbled in it myself long ago. We have the legacy of a knight named Boleslav Bavor, who journeyed through the Holy Land and visited Jerusalem. There was some connection to the monastery crypt, if I recall.
Really? Because I actually came across it in the crypt.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I ran into some laborers down there. From what I gathered, they were trying to rob some of the graves, and they were looking for something tied to the Jerusalem cross.
By Christ, they were after the relic.
What are you talking about? What relic?
There's a possibility that Bavor was buried here along with a certain relic. That's what got me interested back then.
What exactly did you discover about then?
Not much. That's why I soon gave it up. Aside from the travel records of Sir Bavor, there wasn't any further mention of anything that might be connected. In the end, I concluded that the whole tale of the relic was likely just Bavor's own fabrication.
That's a shame. It was just starting to get interesting. Still, I'd very much like to have a look at the travel records, just in case.
I'll be glad to show them to you, to examine, but first we must report those vile thieves to the abbot.
You're right. The abbot ought to be told, but it's probably not wise to burden him with it now. Right now, we need to deal with the illness. Once things have settled down, we can make sure those thieves get what they deserve. Besides, we've got almost no proof yet. If I manage to investigate the matter of Bavor more thoroughly, I might stumble on something.
Still, it's a serious thing. We mustn't wait too long.
Of course. Once I've gathered the evidence, I'll explain everything to the abbot straight away. And now I'd like to take a proper look at Bavor's travel records.
Of course. Give me a few moments. I'll find them for you. And I believe Bavor's name also appeared in some old accounts. I'll try to track those down too.
Okay.
Here you go. Bavor's travel records about his journey through the Holy Land. And I've also found these old accounts. Feel free to study them too. I'm curious myself what conclusion you'll come to, if any.
Oh. It really says here that he acquired a holy relic. Let's see how it continues.
Until thou came by a holy relic, earned through my glorious deeds, done for the goods of all Christians, and their injustice done to me, of the fleeting riches of this world, and of the eternal grace of our Lord Christ. From Bohemia into the lands of Italians, in the year of our Lord 1300, I set forth to Bohemia on a perilous journey, that I might perform great deeds, and to raise my name in the eyes of the king. First, I passed through the borders of forest, and then along with the imperial roads, through the Alpine mountains, which are most fair, until I reached the city of the Italians that stand upon the water, and I called Venice there. I found a fine ship, and to set out upon the sea, along the Greek coast where danger lies. Sailing the seas is a curious experience, especially when nothing is to be seen on the horizon, but what alone we sailed for a long time, all along the Greek coast and among its many islands, and more than once had to defend our ships against pirates. Once I was cast overboard and thought dead, yet all was astonishing. When I returned, for I am a strong swimmer, at least we reached the port of Jaffa, which lies not far from Jerusalem. In the city of Jerusalem, there I found Christians, though few in number. I must note here that the city was not destroyed or taken by the Tatars, as I often said, but still ruled by the Mamluk Sultan. He is tolerant towards Christians, though they must pay twice the usual taxes. He has even allowed them certain churches which are tended by the Francians. Yet the Christians are poor, and so the churches are in poor condition. I visited often and saw all the holy sites, though I could not carry a sword, being a Christian, only a dagger. The French Franciscan, seeing that I was a noble and trustworthy Christian knight, confided me that the secretly kept a great treasure, many sacred objects and relics that had been hidden from the Mamluks and the followers of Muhammad, fearing the treasures might soon be seized. They wish to move it for safety to the islands of Cyprus, where the Christian king of Jerusalem now reigns. We therefore purchased many barrels, into some of which we placed the treasures and filled all with olives. A number of local Christians disguised themselves as merchants, and we separated from the city of Jerusalem for the port of Akko, which the Christians had recently lost, the last of their fortresses, for it is said that little inspect is done there, and the customs men are willing to take the bribes. The journey of Cyprus, as out from the city of Akko, we were set up by brigands led by the fearsome Maruf Hamid. They first sent horsemen against us, but we threw several barrels beneath their mounted, and the riders fell quickly. We fought for ourselves in a caravanserai, and when they found that the shooting arrows gained them nothing, they attacked on foot. I ordered a cart full of stones to be sent against their ranks, and at once we charged in with weapons drawn. They had expected no such thing, and so granted us a glorious victory. We slew many of them, and the rest fled. I overtook their terrible leader and struck off his head. A great bounty had been set on him, which I collected in the city of Akko. Well, all were glad I had ride them off such a villain, and none dared even inspect our goods. Thus I paid off for the swift ship, and we set off for Cyprus. The king of Cyprus reached Cyprus safely and told everything to King Henry, entrusting him with the holy treasures for safekeeping. The king was greatly impressed by our deeds and named the Knight of the Olive Tree. He ordered my shield to be adorned with the Jerusalem cross and wishes to take me into his service. But I was bound to return home, and soon as I had to decline, where I would not be swayed, he gifted me a fragment of the true cross, one of the holy relic we had brought, along with the other riches, that I might return safely to Bohemia. Through Hungary to Bohemia, on the return journey, I visited the city of Constantinople, the greatest in the world, and travelled through the lands of Greece and many others until I reached Hungary. There, at the castle of Buda, I lingered, for the local lord took great interest in my travels. I recounted all of them, and he had it written down. Then I continued on my way back to Bohemia. Back in Bohemia, when I returned to Bohemia, I stood before the King Wenceslas and gifted him the part of my wealth. I told him my journey and received much praise, but in my dispute over Blatna, the king would not decide. I traveled to Prague several more times to plead my cause, but always without success. The king advises the abbot of Sedlitz, Heinrich, who became my friend, told me that the king would greatly return me the castle. But kinsmen held too much influence. The king needed them and would not anger them. Seeing that I would not regain my castle nor provide for my house, I felt gravely ill and knew the lords would soon call me. I gave off my treasure to the monastery of Sedlitz, where I had been promised rest in the crypt. Only my holy treasure I concealed it from all, and took it with me to the grave, that it might accompany me into eternity.
According to the journal, Bavor had himself buried here with his holy treasure. That sounds pretty clear. Let's see what the accounts say.
Raven Lands Holdings. Manage 79 Groschen, manage Biowake, 17 Groschen, Bilani, 306. Melashov, pre-tokening here. Other revenue here, Groschen, gifts and endowments given to the monastery, Groschen. Clothing, parchments, minuscule scriptory, various colors, wax candles, medical provisions, firewood, construction timber, abbey office, flour, riverfish, lards, legumes, salt, spices, honey, beer, wine, chicken, nuts, sweet fruit, onions, or garlic. Additional expenditure, chapter for from the endowment of Lord Bavor, materials, painting wages is assistant wages. Materials, masterstone wages is assistance wages, liturgical vessels, blah blah blah. Okay, that's it. No cross.
So Bavor gave the monastery a generous donation and paid for a chapel mural painting. And still, despite all the records and mentions, Crispin had his doubts. Why?
I think there's a simple reason for that, because he didn't really trust anyone. But yeah, I need to definitely try to perfume myself over here, because my guy is definitely smelling very horrible. And I think I don't have anyone or anything. Yeah. Pardon me. I'm gonna definitely try to eat some smoked sausage here. There. Speak with him.
Well,
I read the journal. A lovely tale. It really brought the Holy Land to life.
and?
And it says the relic Bavor acquired was a splinter from the true cross of Christ.
Holy Virgin! Such a sacred treasure!
And according to the book, Sir Boleslav was to be buried with the relic in the monastery crypt.
So it says in the book. I also found my old notes and remembered how it all went back then. I too searched for Bavor's grave. I even dared venture into the crypt, but despite all my efforts, I never found it.
And what did you do after that?
Once I was convinced none of the graves belonged to Bavor, I laid the matter before the abbot, but not our father Jan. This was over 20 years ago when Abbot Vitus held office. May the Lord grant him eternal peace. Together we came to the conclusion that Bavor's tale was likely at least partly, perhaps entirely, made up.
Why would it be made up? Surely Sir Boleslav wouldn't lie about something so serious.
The book's one thing, but there's not a single other mention anywhere. The grave's missing, the relic's nowhere to be found. Can you think of another explanation, then?
But why would Bavor do that? What would he gain by deceiving everyone here?
If memory serves, he had some disputes over property. Maybe he wanted to improve his reputation.
Well, that's mentioned in the text. But lies wouldn't have helped him. Quite the opposite, if he'd been found out.
You'd be surprised how short-sighted some folk can be. But I agree, something about it doesn't sit.
And what about the mural mentioned in the accounts? Does it really exist?
Yes, it's in one of the chapel naves. It depicts several scenes from Bavor's alleged adventures.
Well, then that proves Bavor's story wasn't just made up. Surely the abbot back then wouldn't have approved such a mural in the main church if he hadn't believed it was true.
If the former abbot believed Bavor wasn't a liar, but a real hero of the Holy Land, I'll believe him too.
All the more reason I want to see it for myself.
No harm in trying. At the very least, it's a fine piece of work.
Bavor mentions in his journal that he received a great fortune from the King of Cyprus, and the account records say he gave a generous donation to the monastery. Do you think that was made up?
They confirm at best that Bavor had wealth, not where it came from. According to the late Abbot Vitus, he might have gained that fortune by plundering or as spoils of war, and the tale of the Holy Land was just a cover to mask the dishonorable origin of his riches.
Well, I've never been to the Holy Land, but I've seen plenty of wrongdoings, even here in Bohemia. And if Bavor really wanted to cover up how he got his coin, he could have built a village, built a fortress, or who knows, bought up a mine. He could have done any number of smarter things than spinning a tale about a heroic journey halfway across the world. Don't you think?
I'm no expert in fraud, but yes, he chose a rather complicated cover-up if that's what it was.
The account books mention that Bavor had a sarcophagus made at his own expense.
That's possible. Does it mean anything?
If he paid for it himself, there had to be a reason. Masonry work like that is no small matter, and it's odd, isn't it? He sorted it all out in detail with the monastery to have his tomb here. Then he wasn't even buried here.
You're right. I never made that connection before.
And then there's the relic. If Bavor had just wanted to raise his reputation with a good story, why claim to have gained something so rare?
Perhaps out of vanity? There's no shortage of that among the nobility.
But his tale's already heroic enough without it. Making up a relic would only draw unwanted attention.
That's a good point. It'd be too risky.
The crypt has a hidden side chamber, you know.
Excuse me? What chamber?
It had been walled up. In one part of the crypt, the masonry was loose, so I managed to get inside.
I've never heard of anything like that. Perhaps even Abbot Vitus didn't know of it.
I'd say the abbot would definitely have known about something like that. He just didn't tell you. Maybe on purpose.
Where are you going with this?
I'm not sure. Just thinking out loud, really. Don't you think this whole thing is a bit too complicated? Every explanation for why Bavor would lie seems more convoluted than just acknowledging it's true.
Listening to you now, it's like hearing my younger self. And I sound exactly like Abbot Vitus. His view was that Bavor's story was fiction. He told me I'd be better off letting it go.
What exactly did he say?
That I should stop chasing old crusaders and focus on real, meaningful work.
Vitus isn't here anymore. So we can pick up where you left off. And maybe we'll finally unravel Bavor's mystery together.
If that relic really does exist, and it surfaced now, it'd surely be a sign from the Lord, a sign of hope in these desperate times.
Don't get ahead of yourself. We've not even found Bavor's tomb. Without it, we're stuck.
But you spoke of that hidden chamber in the crypt. If there's any clue, it'll be in there. Take this and study it closely. It's a drawing of Bavor's family coat of arms I came across years ago. According to this, you'll know if it's truly the grave of Sir Boleslav. Yes, the mural in the chapel, paid for by Bavor himself, also bears his coat of arms.
Those workers, if they really were after Bavor, they only had a drawing of the Jerusalem cross. But if he was buried under his family crest, no wonder they opened the wrong graves.
Yes, that could be it. Study that sketch well, so you won't make the same mistake.
Thank you. I'll head off at once.
Just be careful, please. You know the abbot's orders, the disease, all this misfortune.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
And in the crypt, show respect to the eternal rest of those buried there, especially now, with death haunting the monastery.
Yeah. I need to check out the map again. I'm really getting always lost in this big ass chapel here. I need to go to that thing again, but yeah, how about we close this then for a second? Just need to go to the other side, but yeah. We'll head through here and then there around. Okay.
Mother of God, you can't be here!
I was just leaving.
Well, will it be? Hear me?
I'm going.
Well, will it be? Hear me?
I left, luckily.
Huh?
Reporting more losses to Master Ludolf. Someone really is skulking about and killing folk. It'll land on our heads, either way.
You don't fight regards, you fool! You surrender to them! Come on then! Ha! Watch and learn! We're gonna get you, you Harson! I'm all yours!
I surrender.
Ah, for frick's sake!
We'll decide what. And I don't.
I'm not going anywhere.
We could.
You won't escape punishment! Christ! You're not squirming out of this one, asshole! Come on then! I'll kill you!
I had no choice. Souls. Anyway. Yarrow. And a thing. Finding Memorial of Boleslav.
A crozier and mitre. That'll be an abbot's tomb. Abbot Vitus. Crispin mentioned him. Let's hope he forgives us for digging into Bavor's story again. This must have been some night. There's a cross above his head, but a rose in the crest. And I'm looking for an arrow. Good thing I've got the hood. Sarcophagus of a nobleman. Disturbed by those workers. Most likely because of the large cross. But some past abbot's tomb. Maybe even Heinrich. Nice. Looks more like an abbot's tomb from the carving. Good thing. I'll be shifting that rubble for days on my own. This one's rather worn down. But I think I can make out the abbot's symbol. Bavor's crest. So it's true. What? That's not Bavor. I need to tell Crispin.
That's fucked up.
You're the one we're after here! Give up! I said
Show me what you've got.
Have it your way then! I'll beat you into submission! Tough shit!
No, for frick's sake, stupid gods, I hate this mission.
Pissing down again.
I believe in God.
Look at that. Bavor's crest. This must be it.
The King of Cyprus, Knight Bavor, and his relic. though that shield looks a bit different than the one in Crispin's sketch. Almost the same, only on the mural it's got that inner scutcheon added. They gave a lot of space to Bavor's crest and his elevation, likely at the knight's own request, and the crest's all in one, with an angel and the relic. That must mean something.
True. Now we'll just go back.
Who's there?
Brother Crispin?
Henry, I searched through the archives again to see if I might still find something on Bavor, but so far nothing. And your search in the crypt? Did you dare go down there?
I dared. And more than that, I truly did find Bavor's sarcophagus in the hidden chamber.
By all the saints. And the relic? Was it there?
No. I was hoping, but I don't think it's that simple. There's a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but Bavor isn't the one lying in it.
What? You?
I had to know. Judging by the robes, I'd say it's an abbot or some other high-ranking cleric.
Good lord, that's truly strange.
And do you know what's even stranger? I think someone was watching me down there.
Watching? Who? Did you see anyone?
I just heard voices.
Could it have been one of the workers again?
I'd say it was someone else. Does anyone else even know about this Bavor mystery?
As far as I know, no one. I only ever told Abbot Vitus, and I haven't spoken of it to anyone since, I swear.
There's not much we can do about it now anyway. Best thing is to solve this mystery about Bavor as soon as we can.
So, you're saying you found a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but not Bavor himself?
Exactly. I have no idea what to do next. I was kind of hoping you might come up with an explanation. That chamber looked untouched for years.
Explanations do come to mind, but they're purely speculation. It's possible Bavor was never buried here at all. Or perhaps his grave was moved.
Another thought just occurred to me. What if Abbot Vitus was the first to go looking for Bavor? He found him, maybe even took the relic, and then tried to cover it all up.
But why would an abbot do such a thing?
I don't know. I'm only thinking aloud. But you must admit, it can't be ruled out.
Perhaps not. But before jumping to conclusions, let's examine the other possibilities. It's quite possible the remains were moved, and that's why Abbot Vitus shut down my investigation. It is a sensitive matter, after all.
But why would anyone move him? Isn't that against God's will or something?
There are reasons for it. They're internal matters of the monastery. I shouldn't be discussing them with a layman.
Oh, come on, Crispin. We're searching for Bavor together. Surely you can make an exception. Just forget for a moment I'm not a monk like you, and tell me what you know. Please.
Oh, very well. Since you're so insistent, to be laid to rest in the monastery crypt near the altar is the best one can hope for the soul of the departed. Normally such places are reserved for abbots, but this privilege can be granted to others in rare cases.
That would explain why Bavor might be buried there, but not why he isn't.
I'm getting to that. A place of such honor may be given for great deeds, or a truly generous donation. But if the person has been dead for a long time, and has no surviving kin to speak for him, then it's possible the body may be moved to make way for a deceased abbot, or a potential new benefactor.
Hmm.
I see. And I understand that's not an easy thing for you to speak about.
Thank you. Still, the deceased isn't simply tossed aside. He's respectfully moved to another resting place, just not as prestigious.
Right. But that brings us back to the question. So where could they have moved Bavor to?
Most likely to the consecrated field next to the monastery, or the graveyard by the infirmary church of St. Cosmas and Damian.
I'll start with the area around the infirmary church. Then maybe I'll be spared the trip to the consecrated field.
God be with you, Henry. I hope you managed to find Bavor at last.
I saw that mural of Bavor you spoke of, and I think I noticed something slightly unusual.
Ah? Really? What was it?
That Bavor crest. In the mural, it's shown differently from your sketch. Seems to be the elevated version, as mentioned in the travel records, with the inner scutcheon. And on it is the Jerusalem cross. There's also an angel. And Bavor had himself depicted holding the relic. It looked to me like Bavor had the layout made very deliberately.
I must have missed that. Or perhaps I've simply forgotten. But you're right, it does sound rather deliberate.
Indeed. But I still don't know what to make of it.
Bavor clearly put a great deal of thought into his burial. That depiction isn't just a coincidence or some artist's fancy. It was Bavor's intention, and there's certainly a hidden meaning in it.
I'll ponder it on my way to the infirmary graveyard.
Hmm.
Bloody rain.
That was close. Hmm.
Huh? Did I...
Cool.
A bit neglected, but otherwise a nice place for one's final rest. I hope I find Bavor here, so I don't have to search the whole consecrated field. Going by the crest, this was someone noble, but not Bavor. Unmarked grave. Peace to your soul, whoever you are. All these dead are starting to make me uneasy.
This is it.
Nobleman. He must have had luck, or a purse full of groschen to be buried within monastery walls. May the Lord Christ watch over your house, brave sir. Another unmarked grave. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up in one like this myself. And in a far worse place. Unmarked grave. I might as well have gone straight to the consecrated field. A grave. In a graveyard. Doesn't look like it's hiding any mystery. I'd rather meet someone alive now. Boleslav's crest! At last! Let's hope its lord lies somewhere nearby. There's no time for that. I must warn Albic at once. There's no time for that. I must warn Albic at once.
To your health, my friend. Hopefully the worst is behind us.
May not a drop go to waste.
You rats! Hey! Henry! It was his fault those two died. He was the first to know about the epidemic, and he tried to keep everything hushed up. He blackmailed the herbalist to hide them and treat them at his place. And when those bodies were found, what did he do? He sent that lackey of his to get rid of him.
Joachim is.
Dead. And that Dinesh of yours too.
So now you kill me.
Give me just one more reason. Albic? Albic, what is it?
If I were you, I'd hold back a while. For everyone's sake.
What?
You poisoned him? Why?
Calm down. He's still breathing.
What do you mean, still?
Whether he survives is up to you, and whether you're finally willing to cooperate.
You're mad. You want me to help you? Now? After all this?
If you're looking for someone to blame, try yourself. None of this would have happened if you hadn't kept getting in my way.
Don't try that on me. I thought you and Albic were friends. He never did anything to deserve this.
Albic may not realize it, but half his shining reputation is thanks to me. Next to someone young and inexperienced, it's easy to look like a master. You saw it yourself. Even the Right Reverend didn't trust me. Me, royal physician to King Sigismund. But once Master Albic showed up, suddenly everything was different. And all he had to do was repeat the same things I'd already said.
So you only pretended to be his friend? All the while you looked down on him? Speak, traitor. What do you want from me?
I want Albic's closely guarded records on the treatment of King Wenceslas.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb. Albic spent a lot of time with him. I want to know what he wrote down.
So, it was you who turned our chamber upside down?
Me? No, that was Dinesh.
You swine. Albic confided in you that he had them, and you poisoned him so that...
I was hoping to frighten him. Maybe he'd give them to me for safekeeping. But the mad old fool went and hid them somewhere. So I need you to find them.
And if I bring you the records, you'll give me the antidote?
Not so fast. There's one more thing. Something King Sigismund himself would greatly value. Apparently, somewhere in this monastery, there's a relic from the Holy Land, brought here years ago by a knight.
And that's what those workers were after. But they failed.
Morons.
I've no idea what you're on about. Sigismund wants you to find some relic for him.
What he doesn't know is that Sir Boleslav was buried with it, right here in the monastery.
So you plan to present it to him and hand it over in exchange for a medal and a fat reward?
Something like that. I have good reason to believe the relic is of great value to the king. Once you've got the relic and the records, come to the church. We'll meet there. And one last piece of advice. Hurry. The substance acts slowly, but the longer you make Albek wait, the worse the consequences.
And what's to stop me grabbing you by the neck, beating the antidote out of you, and dragging you to the abbot?
The fact I'm not a fool. I haven't got the antidote on me, so we can go to the abbot and spend hours blaming each other. Meanwhile, Albek will die, right here on the cold ground in a puddle of his own vomit. If he's to survive, we do this my way. Do we understand each other?
Absolutely.
That's how it should be.
Henry, the records, they're behind scales.
What? What scales? Albie?
Well, yeah. You know what? Let's just quickly call this a day over here. I hope you all on YouTube have enjoyed this. There's like definitely a lot of going on here. And if you did, give it a like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new and wish to support it. Do you want to recommend something we're going to get together that's possible as well? Just write down in the comments box below or join my Discord server so we can have a chit chat about it. Till then, I'll see you all later.